I remember one night my friends were all doing ecstasy and that kind of thing, and we didn't. And finally, I just gave in to the temptation, and it kind of snowballed out of control. I don't really remember most of the night, but I do remember waking up and I'd had a seizure and I'd been foaming at the mouth, and the ambulance said that they had the scale or something from 1 to 10, and 10's being you're going to die, and I was somewhere up in the 9s, and they just said I was lucky to be alive. I basically OD'd. I wake up in the morning and not to mention hungover, but just empty on the inside. And we would discuss what can we do to feel alive again, like to fill that gap, that void of emptiness that we had, of not being satisfied with life. But the biggest thing I dealt with was anxiety with myself, and like I hated the way my voice sounded or my hand actions, where my hands were going. Like I had a voice in my head saying, "Oh, you did this action with your hand while you were talking, and that action looks stupid, and other person's going to think it looks stupid, so you're stupid," you know. And I had all these thoughts going on, and I would look in the mirror and I hated what I saw. I hated my reflection. In high school, I would go into the bathroom in the morning, and I'd look at myself in the mirror, and I'd just be like, that's so ugly. Like my face, my skin, my freckles, my hair is so ugly. I'd be like, nah, I'm not leaving the bathroom. So I'd go to the toilet, and I'd wait there the whole day until the school bell had rung, and then I would wait maybe 15 minutes until the rush had gone, and I wouldn't leave, because I just thought I don't want people to see me. That's the type of anxiety I dealt with. So then a family friend of ours, she invited me to a youth camp. So I'd never been to a church. I didn't have any experience of what it would be like, and everyone was so friendly, and I couldn't believe that they were being so outgoing and friendly without being under the influence of a drug or alcohol. And I thought, man, I wish I could be like that, because I'm so chained up and reserved. I mean, these people are so free, like, what do they have? And then so that night, I was talking to the youth pastor, Pastor Joe, and he was telling me more about this Jesus, and I never really knew what he was all about. And I was like, yeah, let's pray to this guy and see what happens. Steve Boardman was talking about having one foot in the church and one foot in the world, or partying, or whatever you like to do, but being sold out for God. And all my weight was on one leg, because I had one foot on a hill and one foot higher up, and I felt like I couldn't stand. And then I felt God just speak to me so powerfully and say, if you have one foot in the church and one foot, and you're doing what you were doing before you met me, you won't be able to stand. It won't work. Either be one or the other. And from that moment, I decided I would be all for the church. I'll be all for God. I can't believe when I look at my life, and I'm married now, and me and my wife, we run part of the youth, the junior high, and I never dreamed I would be preaching on a regular basis in front of a crowd. No one would imagine that that's what I would be doing now. I've gotten so much peace that I just feel like chains have been broken off me. Like I'm not anxious anymore like what I used to be. I just never, it wasn't possible in my mind. I just thought that could never happen. Since being a Christian and coming to church has really brought our family together. Me and my mom, we started coming to church pretty at the same time, and that was great. But then my sister, she started coming, and now her husband comes, and her 2 children, they both come, and it's fantastic. I knew that there was something I needed, but I didn't know what it was, and I was exploring all these places, but I never knew what the answer was. I never knew that it was to know Jesus Christ. And I think if someone hadn't offered it to me, I never would have found it. I'm so grateful that our family friend had the courage to ask me to come to youth camp, and was bold enough in their faith that they knew that was the answer I needed. They brought him to me, and they said, here he is, and he'll get rid of your anxiety that cripples you, and he'll give you peace that you don't have. Salvation is the greatest miracle anyone could ever receive. And I just seriously think that sharing Jesus Christ and salvation with someone else is the greatest thing that we could ever do.